And welcome back to Nemo Raceway and the start of round 6 of RCGP Season 2 2022. It's the hour-long final at the end of the day. But first of all, of course, we have what's coming up next, which is the first of 3 qualifying races. But hang on, you're saying. You've welcomed me back to Nemo Raceway. That means you've been here before. Yes, we were here yesterday for round 5. We had some fantastic racing. And let's hear from the top 3 from the 2 sprint finals. Welcome to the press conference following event 5 of RCGP, round 3 here in Nemo Raceway. It was the 2 sprint finals, and well, what a second sprint final it was. And we ended up with a deserved but unlikely winner in David. That was an incredibly eventful second leg, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't expect that going into the second leg, considering where we finished in the first one. I mean, a third was not bad, of course, in the first one, but I still expected, David and Canas to be able to pull away, because I didn't expect me to finally get a good start in the second one. But got a good start and had one mistake, fell back a little bit, but made a push towards the end and was able to close in. And David just went a little wide, and I had to try to pass him on the inside and kind of made a block pass, whatever you want to call it. And I think it was a fair one, and luckily for me, Elliot was able to get him on the last lap because he had to let him by or something, and I'm here with a win. So I didn't expect it, but I'll take it.
Davide, you seemed, despite the fact you almost won the final and you were kind of unlucky not to win it, you seemed very kind of, oh, well, that's life. You didn't seem too upset. I'd have been livid. if I'd been going to win it 2 corners from the end.
I tried to pull away on the start, and then on the first corner, I made the jump too long and I crashed. I mean, not crash, but it was like 7 or 6. And then I start to stay behind David and Elliot, and then Canas has a mistake. Then David also. So then at the end, David was inside to me and he win. But yeah, ready for tomorrow.
Well, that was the top 3 from yesterday, but tomorrow is another day. But then tomorrow is also now today. So let's have a quick word with the man who they've had a bit of a practice, and we have the fastest person in seeding practice, and therefore the person who can choose his favourite slot on the gate, which I assume is what, middle left. It's Lee Martin.
Hi, how you doing?
So obviously you've changed everything and now it's working.
Well, I just rebuilt a bit last night. Obviously I was very unlucky with the car breaking a 3D gearbox last night in the second leg. So yeah, we refreshed it all, spent some time on it, made it a new car, and today it's been very good.
Sun beating on the track already. Does the temperature change that black carpet? Because obviously that's absorbing heat all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. It always seems grippier in the morning. And I don't know whether that's because it's colder from the night, so it's grippier, but in the afternoon it always seems a little bit less, a little bit easier to drive in the afternoon. Great
stuff. Thank you, Lee. We have Elliot next. Elliot, who won 2 of the qualifying races yesterday. Final didn't quite go to plan, but 2 of the qualifying races. So you've got 3 more qualifying races. Can you do it again?
We'll see. I mean, I've got to start from the back now because we took the resealing as like a bit of a practice session to do some tyre testing. Didn't really work out, but I'd rather know then than in the final. But, anything can happen. We have to start from the back and just try and get through with a bit of luck, hopefully.
Yeah, we've got an hour final coming up, and it was hard enough for everyone to keep the car pointing in the right direction for 13 minutes. So an hour could be a real challenge even for you pros, yeah?
Definitely. It's definitely going to be tough. Really, really tough conditions. An hour long, yeah, it's going to test everyone's skill.
Great stuff. And then on to Tom Robert. Tom, people kept talking about you yesterday for the wrong reasons, but you don't really know why, do you? Excellent Gallic shrug. Well done. Fantastic. So let's talk about today. So how was that practice? Is the car still improving?
Yeah, my car is good after next run all time, but I need to improve again because I need to find the right setup. It's not bad, but I think we can improve again, and we work a lot with Davide, and let's see.
Great stuff, thank you, Tom. So that are the drivers. You can just, if you've got very good hearing, because you obviously have been near Nemo Raceway, hear the engines getting going. But let's see. I'd like to have a look and a wander around the images, the visions, the people of the Nemo Raceway.
And we are back. Starting up front is Lee Martin, followed by David Ronnefalk, Juan Carlos Canas, Alex Zancatine in fourth, Pecco Ivan in fifth, Davide Angaro sixth, Hampus Berg in seventh, the young French racer Clement Boda in his first year of 8 skill in eighth, Tom Robin also representing France, the young Texan Brandon Rose, and Elliot Boots doing it for the Queen for England, as well as James Lepavot.
I love the way you always say Elliot's doing it for the Queen, like he's got some sort of intimate relationship with Her Majesty.
Well, what happened at Silver State, I think it was 2019 that he was there, and just before he went up on the driver's stand, and I had a few drinks in me, and I was like, Elliot, do it for the Queen, and he looked at me and laughed, and he actually did win that race. So
that's pretty
good.
A
thing.
Sorry, it's still making me laugh. I don't know why that particular time is now. I've just kind of caught him going, that's making me laugh, but that is really quite amusing.
Yeah, thank you.
He's doing it for the Queen.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is her. Oh, I forgot what it is now. Is it no Platinum Jubilee, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was it Diamond? No, Platinum. 70 years, Platinum Jubilee.
She's got to be close to 100 now.
She's 95.
Wow.
But her husband died at 99. They're long lived. They have very good medical care, obviously, being the King and the Queen. But anyway. We've already been told off once of veering off subject to split today.
Yes.
So let's get back onto it. This is the team standings at the end of the fifth round. So we're about to start the sixth round. The S-Works have a healthy 12-point lead. They lost a couple of points. Big win yesterday was Mayako, mainly because Ronnefalk won and won a lot of heats and also has won the rush. So 2 wins so far for Ronnefalk. Beach RC not so good with Boda and Le Pavot. Invisible Sea JQSM, Zanchetine, Ivan and team here has looked a little bit stronger than the other teams we've seen, and it looks like JQ may have found his vocation as the setup meister because he's got both those cars going brilliantly. And Nemo, unluckily at the rear because Lee was absolutely on the cusp of getting the third place with his gearbox. Front gearbox is just one of the few 3D printed parts left on that new car. Said, well, honestly, I've had enough today. I'm only a bit of plastic which you've moulded on a printer and I can't carry on working. The overall championship. Right, here we go. So, Ronnefalk leads from Ongaro. Now, Ongaro, of course, done 1 round less and in France gained a huge amount of points. As you can see, Ronnefalk now pulling away. So, Ronnefalk is a healthy lead of 20. One car's Canassi in third. Disappointing second final for him has dropped him right down. Elliot Boots is in fourth, and then you have Joe Bornhorst, who's only on the first round, in fifth. Then Lee Martin, Hampersburg, Cole Turk, Alex Zanchetine, Leonardo Valenti, Brandon Rose, JQ, Aidan Horn, Spencer Heckert, and Evan Vale. So none of these guys have only done 1 race. We may well see the Aidens, the Spencer, and the Evans back for round 4 in to be announced USA. But it is now the rest of the warm-up. So I'm going to ask you, Lefty, what have you learned so far from with the racing here at the glorious Nemo Raceway?
Well, I've learned that this track is not as easy as it looks. It's definitely been catching even the top guys out. I was just talking to Brandon Rose. He said this track is probably one of the hardest tracks he's driven on. And he says, don't be fooled by not having a lot of jumps, but the high speed that these guys are trying to go at, it definitely comes up and bites you in the behind if you ain't paying attention. You have to be very smooth on the not so much on the throttle input, but definitely on your steering input. But it's made for some great racing. Everybody's having fun. I was just walking around talking. I did talk to Lee about the new car, and he says they're looking to have it available by the end of the year, if not the beginning of 2023. So it is something that's going into production. So that's good to see. I know a lot of people were asking about that. So Boots has left the driver's stand.
Right, this is an interesting shot there from Frank. We have Elliot Boots' car, tyres off the car. The engineer, Boots is running back on. He's run off driver land with, is it Ricardo Veraccio? How do you pronounce Ricardo's surname, his engineer? I've forgotten.
We just call him Very.
Very Archer. So they've come back. So basically they've made a last-minute decision to change tyres by the looks of it. They've got about the time it takes to do up the screws before they start walking out. I wonder if they might get a couple of seconds of grace as such. Never can tell with these things, of course. So he's going for a full speed change of tyres. It's interesting. Obviously, he told us in the earlier part that he was going to be. He tried tyres he didn't like earlier. So your question really now is, what is the reason he doesn't like the tyres he's now tried for his second couple of laps just then?
I don't know, but Boots was looking very fast yesterday. He did make that one mistake over there in the 15-leg final where he was looking pretty dominant and allowed for Ronafalk and Ongaro to pass him. Just the name of the game here. It's just been these small mistakes that have been catching these guys out. And it's very rare that they make these mistakes, but this track it's so challenging because most of their cars are set up for the high grip synthetic fabric, and then when they get on that rough surface up there that is extremely rough, I must say, if you go up there and look at it, it just catches you off guard because the cars are so low, and it's basically about survival on that dirt part of the track. So
yeah, and we now have a little bit of time. Oh, God, I love this shot. I love this shot. We watched them to go away. So you can see on the right hand, the 46 Hampersburg. There's the 27. They're off on the round, and they drop down. We're going to get another clean one. And Ronafalk's got the whole shot from Ivanen. Looks like Sanchez is in third. So it's Mayako, 1, 2, and 3. Fourth place looks like Ongaro, but there's so many white and blue cars, it's hard to tell sometimes. It may actually not be Ongaro, but let's find out. Ongaro's in 11th, so Ongaro's made a terrible start. So we have to find out which one of the white and blue. It's not Ongaro, and it's not Le Pivot, but the car in fourth, who is white and blue, I'm not quite sure who it is. Anyway, so Mayako. It's Ronafalk from Ivanen. You can see it's Ivanen because of the aerial tube, and behind him it's Zanchetin, makes a mistake, and we're going to get a piece of information. It's Clement Boda from the S-Works team coming fourth. Fifth place, it's Juan Carlos Canas, who's actually now battling with Zanchetin. Boda's up to third, and that's your battle at the moment. This scrap for third, fourth, and fifth. Clement Boda got out. Clement didn't really show the results yesterday. I was very impressed with him during the day. Yeah, I thought he put in some good performances, didn't get the luck, and certainly of the new boys and the less experienced lads, always seemed like he was moving forward. But of course, no more 10th special. Now he's got to hold off Juan Carlos Canas, the recently crowned European E-Buggy champion, and behind them is Zanchetin. So it is Ronafalk from Even. It's the Scandinavian 1-2, and then we have France, Spain, and Italy. So don't say this isn't a fully international championship in RCGP.
Oh, of course, well, it is. I was talking to Clement Boda and his father. He just started racing Nitro here the last year. His father was a long-time 10-scale racer back in the day in France. And they're having a good time here, and he's definitely looking to be one of the future young talents of RC. Very nice family over there. But as we see, Ronafalk here taking the... No, that's Boda. Oh, and Ronafalk made a mistake. And he's now back to fourth.
Yeah, but so that must mean we got... Where's Evening? Oh, Evening's leading by miles. That's Evening from Boda, from Canas, from Ronafalk. So Evening now looking particularly good.
And Mrs. Evening will be happy. Maybe I'll get a pair of socks.
You may get a Mrs. Tara will be chuffed to bits about this, but Pecco leading by a way, and as Canas has got through Boda, so Canas now has second place as they go round, and the 2.5 minutes will be done at the end of this lap. So they're coming up to just about halfway because there are 2 bonus laps. And what's happened for Ronafalk, that mistake he made, yes, it's dropped him back, but now he's got an issue about getting past anybody. Clement Boda, used to running on Astro with his 10th environment, is holding station, keeping tight, not letting any gaps emerge. Ivanen with a great lead there, 2.3 seconds. Canas kept chasing him down. And Ronafalk now through and past Boda. Boda now has a train behind him that includes Zanchetin, it includes Martin, it includes the recovering Davide Ongaro up into 7th, and then behind him is Hampersburg. So, all to play for. Ronafalk looking to move forward towards Canas. Canas has got the jam in the sandwich, but she's led by the Finn, Ivanen, JQSM team. Ivanen absolutely on it from the start of the weekend. I mean, I know how Clement Boda impressed me. I kind of forgot about Ivanen because Ivanen I got here expecting him to do well. I just kind of thought, no, Pecco will be fine because he's qualified for A finals in 3 different classes in a space of 4 weeks. In the European Championships, everything that he's thrown up on, he just gets out and drives. So Ronafalk, I don't think Ronafalk's really got a lot of speed on Canas. Canas is slowly creeping back forwards towards Ivanen. Ongaro is in a train, which if he can break through, we're putting probably a chance of getting a 4th overall. Don't forget, the qualifying counts this time because they're going to start on a grid start. So the actual final will start on a grid start rather than a gate.
Correct, and Ronafalk's looking to push the issue. He did make a mistake in the 15-minute, second leg of the 15-minute final, but was able to come back in an impressive drive to pip Ongaro. And Boots actually passed Ongaro in the last few corners to give Ronafalk the overall win. But Canas is right behind and hounding Pecco like a cheetah hounding its prey in the Serengeti.
That's better. But cheetahs more chase their play rather than hound it. But I'll give you a 7 with that one.
I'm trying to get a great analogy for
Let's move forward to the top 2, please, because I think that's going to get really more exciting. So the Canas now getting right on the backside of Evening. Now, interestingly, last lap they were a bit closer, so Evening's either got the hurry up or it was just a poor couple of corners for Pecco that put them a bit closer. But Pecco now, it is when they get to it's the kind of foreshortening of the slower parts of the track. But that's going to come very close, and he's shut the door. Canas would have been in his rights to go through there, so I'm quite impressed by that, Canas. There, a good bit of heads-up driving. I mean, the downside was they could have both spun out, and that would let Ronafalk. What it has done is given Ronafalk a chance to get right back onto the train of these 3 machines. So we are down to this lap and then 2 more. Time has expired of the 5 minutes. They've got 2 more laps to go when they cross the line. And Canas definitely is quicker than Evening, but then it is normally easier to follow and to lead, but it's not easy to get past. This is where Evening made very careful. They came in tight, had a second bite. Canas there thinking about getting through the touring car section. That would be a first. No one's overtaken on that carpet, really. No, that's a big one. Well, let's see that one again, but that to me is I think Ronafalk may well have tripped him. Oh, right, that's a remarkable accident. And they go down the straight, and that's going to give the win to Ivan, it should do.
Yeah, Ronafalk getting aggressive. He was a little bit upset yesterday at some of the rough driving, and he said, I think he got into Zlatan mode, as I call it, and he's carrying on that aggressiveness today.
But I don't quite understand what happened.
Yeah,
obviously Evening's made a mistake as well, because he's ended up, he should have gained a good couple of seconds from Canas during that multi-roll on the major. I know Canas didn't lose a huge amount of time, but he certainly lost more than the gap it is at the moment. So Evening now has to take it around these final few corners to take his first RCGP heat win, gain the RCGP point. Canas has not given up, and that massive coming together is going to. This is not all over. This is not all over. Canas looking up the inside. Canas looking on top. Canas has and Ronafalk's gone through. They decided to make love, and Ronafalk has gone through to pick up the victory. Wow, that's amazing. Now Canas is going to get second. I think it's another accident on the line. People are falling over themselves. Ongaro got 4th. Evening was 8th.
Wow.
8th after leading. What happened there? That is unbelievable. Ronafalk, Canas, and Martin.
Oh, Pecco would not be happy about that. Mind you, Juan Carlos, they had a coming together earlier in the race, and I guess Juan Carlos should try to push the issue. Have to push the issue at that point. So let's see if we have some fireworks on the driver's stand here coming down. Unfortunately, I'd like to see what happened with Ronafalk and Canas early on. But what a great race we had just had. As you can see, anything can change on this track. This track is so fast. These guys are pushing so hard. So David Ronafalk, Juan Carlos in second, Lee Martin in third, Davide Angaro fourth, Elliott Boots fifth, Alex Zanklin sixth, Hampus Berg seventh, big loser Pecco on the last lap 8th, Brandon Rose 9th, Tom Robin 10th, James Lepovo 11th, and Clement Boda in 12th. Wow, what an unfortunate, unfortunate turn of events, but I am not saying strategy because that triggers a whole rant. A little bit of rough driving there, a little bit of aggressive driving from all drivers. Be interested to see what they say. I don't think we have a replay, unfortunately, of the accident on the straightaway. I'm not sure. We see Mr. Boots arguing or debating with Justin. We see our RD up there. I think they're having some words. Let's see the replay here. We got some replays coming. And here we can see this is going to be the Ivanen. That looks like it's all Canas in that one. He just tried to push it on the inside there, and look at that. And just got caught up. Pecco would be upset with that. And then, of course, and the big winner in all of that is the Viking. Do we have the Viking Knaus clash on the straightaway at all? To our technical engineer. We're going to go over and see what the drivers have to say with Nick.
Well, a dramatic end to the race and a remarkable end. And once again, suddenly all his luck coming at once. If you'd like, got a fan of four-leaf clover recently, David, because it's, you had an incident on the penultimate lap and all the cars rolling everywhere, and then suddenly you're through and you win.
Yeah, I mean, like that one on the last lap, it was my bad. I tried to line him up on the straight there. He kind of caught the pipe just a little bit, and that slowed his car down enough, so I ran right into him in the back. He was still in second and third, but I mean, if I got a penalty for that one, I wouldn't have, cared about it because it was clearly my fault. But I think he has done the same in the past, so it's not a big deal. He can also feel how it feels to get taken out, because I don't know what happened on the last lap there with Pecco, but they got into each other, and I passed them, so I picked up the pieces and was able to get the win in that one. So yeah, 1 point for me, and I'll take it.
Great. So car looked quick though.
Yeah, it was quick. Just 2 mistakes on my own there, being in the lead, and I just need to remove those in the start of the endurance race, and hopefully we should be good.
Great stuff. Thank you. Juan Carlos. Well, a very dramatic last couple of laps. You got hit by David, and then you came together with Pecco. How did you see it?
The race was crazy. I don't know. All people is push, so it's easy. If I receive push, I will do push. But I think it's not good for the views to see our run like this. I think this.
David's taken responsibility for the accident you guys had on the straight. What happened in that crash with Pecco?
I think he's like a stop in the middle of the corner. I go full brake and I can't do nothing. No.
Do you know, is there going to be a penalty called on it, do you know?
I don't know. But I think for the next one, hope will be cleaner.
Okay, thanks, Juan Carlos. And a man who had a very quiet race, but still finished on the podium. Lee, didn't see you at all. Did not follow your car for 1 second, but you're third. What happened?
Awesome. I had a bit of a bad start. Did the jump at the end of the straight and got landed on. Someone used my car as a down ramp, which, as it's got no shock towers, is a pretty good idea. Apart from that, I just made my way up slowly, honestly. Had really good pace, but had to be as fast as the guy in front of me. Had a good race with a few guys and managed to get third right at the last corner. So, good result.
Great stuff. Thanks, Lee. That was an action-packed first heat of RCGP. The next one's on in about an hour's time. Next up on the stream will be the first of the RC2 semi-finals. But that's all for now from RCGP. Back soon with more, well, hopefully even better action.
Yep. All right, so a little bit of tension there in the RCGP pits. Very aggressive driving there. But this is racing, and it's all for the marbles, so these guys are not going to let it go. With that said, David Ronnefalk is still in front of 87 points, followed by David Angar of 66, JCC, Juan Carlos Knaus, 47, Elliott Boots, 45, Joe Bornhorst, 41 from America, Lee Martin moving, tied up with him at 41, Hempisburg gains a point, he's up at 39, Cole Tallard still in 8th, Alex Zankatine in 9th, Leonardo Valente 10th, Brandon Rose in 11th with 8th, Joseph Quagran, who's retired, with 27, Aiden Horn, Spencer Hackett, and Evan Vale, all on 24 and 22 from America. Very aggressive race. Let's look at the... Oh, I thought we was going to have team points. There we go. S-Works is still in front with 157 points, followed 17 points behind by the Team Associated Scuderia Scampi Rosso team, the Mayako team with 126, Beach RC with 89, the Invisible Speed JQ Scale Motorsports with 83 points, and the Nemo Agaba Racing team with 79. So the race with 4, 5, and 6 is very close, and the race between the top 3 is very close as well. So now we have our RC2 semi-final coming up. We see JQ, the green haired one. Yes, so we're going to go to some sponsor reels and then come back and give you the RC2 semi-final. And welcome back to the beautiful Nemo Raceway on this beautiful sunny day here in Bishop's Itcherton, UK. It's not very often we get to say it's a beautiful sunny day in the UK, but we've been blessed with 4 of them in a row. And it is the hottest day so far, apparently. We have a nice cool breeze briskly just coming across and wafting in our control van here, so it's providing us with some natural air conditioning. We have the semifinal Group B, I believe. Let's see. As the mechanics go line them up. So this is Semi A. The top 6 from this will move on to the final. So we have top 6 from each semi going through to the final, and then 1 with the 10-minute LCQ. Yes. Okay, so we see JQ there pitting Mr. Lovell. Chris Lovell, the owner of Brookthorpe. So down and quiet. Long down and quiet. And they're off. Kevin Brunson was the creme de la creme yesterday in the RC2. Very smooth driving. He also raced the RCGP class in Italy, but he's now here doing the RC2 class in the beautiful Nemo Raceway with the young Maxim Cook right behind him, young HP driver who won his entry to the RCGP on the No Name RC podcast. So it's good to see him. He was struggling a bit at first, but him and his father put their head down and they're racing quite fast. He was very fast in the junior final yesterday. Good to see. So it looks like it's Brunson, Cook, Likey, and Scott Walker in 4th, followed by Mr. Ferguson. So we still have 19 minutes to go in this semifinal. And Brunson is looking to pace himself and drive smoothly. He's very smooth yesterday. That comes from his many years of experience racing in BRCA and obviously throughout Europe. He's raced on many various surfaces. And the young Maxim, I believe, is only 10 or 11 or 12, I believe. And just starting his RC career. They made the trip up from Bristol, I believe, in the UK. So it's very good to see them here. I'm glad we can help them get her and be here at the RCGP with us at Nemo Raceway on this beautiful weekend we have been blessed with here in England. I'd like to say a quick shout out to all of our sponsors. They are Nemo Agama Racing, Team Associated, Scuderia Scampi Rosso, S-Works, Mayako, the JQ Scale Motorsports, Invisible Speed Team, Beach RC. Big shout out to Brent, Lucas, and all the guys there at Beach RC, a true brick and mortar hobby shop. We are providing all your needs there in America. Also, shout out to Circus RCs here, busily taking pictures. Everlapse, Mall Graphics, Control, RC Racing TV, and of course, to the awesome people here at the Nemo Raceway who's made all this possible. Thank you for their hospitality. So we're following the young Maxim there in the green and orange HB. Very impressed with this young man this weekend. It was him and his younger counterparts were having a little banter yesterday after the junior final. But very excited to see the youth here at the RCGP. And of course, as you know, I am a big proponent of youth racing. We must uplift the youth. The youth are our future. And we need to get more of these young racers racing in this awesome sport/hobby that is RC car racing. It teaches them mechanics and people skills and all types of stuff in life that they can use and later on, and also connects you with a group of people for the rest of your life. And Maxim makes a mistake. I mean, there's a turn marshal out there. He needs to just keep it on all 4s and come home in 6th. But we have the other young racer who's here with his dad and his mother and his brother. I believe I need to see which, if I could just get scoring up here, please. Yes, that's Eric Likey, followed by Scott Walker, Jason Ferguson, and Chris Lowell. So those are right now, as of now, those are your 6 bump ups with 16 minutes and 41 seconds left to go. And we are following, I believe, that is the young Mr. Likey right there. Very good to see a whole family out here racing. It's him, it's his father, his mother, they're all here, they're representing Nemo. When he makes a mistake, but he can get back as we see Scott Walker goes by for that 3rd place position. Scott Walker looking very good out here. He used to formerly own this track. He was the one who got it started back a few years ago. And then the awesome John Hazelwood has come in and invested a lot of money here and upgraded this facility. He's looking for a very sustainable future here with this surface. He's looking to have 10-scale racing and whatnot here and make this an all-around track for everybody to come and enjoy their time here in RC. Scott's looking good. He's the EU, I would say he's the European Mayako team manager or sales representative or customer rep. I can't remember the exact title for him, but I've known Scott for quite some time. I consider him a good friend, even though he acts like he's mad at me all the time. But very good to see Scott here with his significant other, Alex. And Scott makes a mistake, and that is the problem with this track, clipping of the pipes that allows Likey back through. But these guys just have to finish their race because they're all in a sixth-place position. It's Brunson, Cook, Likey, Ferguson, Lovell. Those are your top six. Lovell has a good lead as well over seventh. He has a 14-second lead over Neil Donk, the Gurnisman. Remember, the top six from this race will move on to your RC2 final. You see Scott Walker is cutting some clean laps there on his Mayako car. I must admit, a lot of the, not just because, I'm friends with JQ, the Mayako cars have looked very good here at the Nemo Raceway. Quickly been working as a team, getting everything dialed in. It's good to see. Of course, JQ relishing his new career move as race engineer, as he says. And he's looking to be like Kanai. That's his goal. As we continue to follow Scott Walker here. Brunson has pulled out to a 12.4 second lead over Maxim Cook. Brunson was definitely looking to be the one, and we're looking forward to this RC2 race between Brunson and Thomas Musso, the winner from the Italian round. He made the trip over with his girlfriend and the younger cousin of Jerome Sartell and Tom Sartell and his father to compete here in the RC2 class. We're very happy to see Thomas here. He'll be up in the next semi. We're still following Scott Walker as he chases down. Well, he's not really chasing down anybody. Second is 3.5 seconds. I don't see young Maxim in the picture. He's a few seconds ahead of Scott. There goes Maxim, and Brunson is just pulling away with a 14.6 lead. And we have 13 minutes and 22 seconds to go. As Scott comes in for a pit, it looks like. Let's see who's doing the pit news. And we have Alex doing the catching, and his father Derek out. Oh, they just had to make sure that fuel cap was on, and Scott is out. Not one of the faster pits going on today, but they just wanted to make sure he was fully topped up and that the fuel tank was closed. So, and it looks like, is that Kevin Brunson? No. Number 9. Leon Morel is flamed out. So Leon is one of the bump ups from the quarterfinals, and it looks like he's out for the day. So the turn marshal collecting his car and walking it back to the pit lane. Leon will be too happy about that. As you see, that jump face right there has many different positions. It's not the smoothest at all. The carpet is there, but it's very awkward jump to jump, and it's been sending these cars for a loop. And don't forget that these cars have been dropped for maximum stability on this high bite synthetic fiber that is the surface, 90% of the surface of this Nemo Raceway. And then when they get up on the moon, as we call it, the craterous dirt section of the track, it's very difficult for these guys to jump and manage these bumps with their cars so low. We're still following Scott Walker. Let's see if he can drop back a touch and find car number 6 and 4. It looks like they're not so close. No real close battles going on here at the moment, unfortunately. But let's show some love to some of the other RC2 drivers. Who's that? Let's see if that's car number 6 of Ferguson. He's running currently in the 5th position. And that looks like, if that's correct, I can't see. Chris Lovell, the owner of Brookthorpe, down in 6th. And remember, the top 6 will bump through to the final, and then we will take one from the 10-minute LCQ. We have 11 minutes and 3 seconds left in this 20-minute semi-final A, as we follow Mr. Ferguson as he wheels his car. I don't know exactly what type of car he's driving around the Nemo circuit throughout this synthetic 5 onto the concrete patch. That is the easiest way to get through that corner, but the problem there is that a lot of people get it wrong and get up on the pipe there, and it has caused a lot of accidents as well. So we have Kevin Brunson, who's pulled out to a 22. I mean, Kevin has been impressive all weekend. Thomas Musso will definitely, and there, Ferguson just has to not make these type of mistakes. And as as Chris Lovell goes by him, Chris Lovell makes a mistake as well there, and that is the battle for 5th and 6th. And Chris just needs to take it easy and not break his car, and he can come away with a win over, because he has a 36-second lead over 7th place. So just keep it calm and keep it on all 4 wheels, and he can win this, get the bump up to the final, which I know Chris will be well chuffed to do that, because he says he's not. Oh no! It looks like Ferguson is stuck in the pipe. Is he out? Oh wow, he is out in a bump up position. Let's follow him to the pit and see what's going on there. Is he out for now? Yes, you see his father running out there to get him, but Ferguson will just have to put this behind him and focus on the LCQ, and he can still bump up to the final. See his father running over. I believe they're racing X-ray cars as well. So unfortunate for Ferguson, he's had a flame out, and let's move up a little bit and let's follow Kevin Brunson for a while. With car number 1, he's the pink car with the white wing. I'm trying to find him for you, Ash. Right now, your positions are Kevin Brunson, Maxim Cook, Scott Walker, Michael Likey, Chris Lovell, and Ferguson they still have him out because he has such a big separation between him and Neil Daunt. But let's see how if it comes about in the final here. We're still trying. I believe that's car number 1 coming up by you now, Ash. Is it car number 1? I can't tell. I believe that is Mr. Brunson out here making it look easy. Driving very smooth and composed, but we expect that out of a veteran like Kevin. Many, many, many years of RC experience. And there he is, making his way up through the fire drain, or fire grate, I believe that's Scott Walker that allows him by. Scott sees that Kevin is faster, and I think he's now lapped up to 3rd. So he's looking to lap the entire, he did lap the entire field yesterday in the 40 plus. So Kevin looking very fast out there. Thomas Musso will definitely have to bring his A game in the if he makes it to the 45-minute final against Kevin here. So we do have semi-final B. You can see Kevin can put his car up there in the rough section as well. You can go through the rough section. You just got to be very careful with him. And he's a very experienced driver. He knows how to do these things. And as he gets by some lap traffic, and he's about to just laps young Maxim, and Kevin is onto an, barring any failures, he's onto an impressive semifinal win. But as you can see, he's just driving smooth as possible, and that comes from years and years of experience of doing this. As he goes across young Ferguson, who is looking to bump up a little bit. He can make it back up to 6th, I think. He is only 4.4 seconds behind Shorey. So let's see if the young man can pick up a 6th place position and not have to bump up from the LCQ, because the LCQ is going to be hectic and only one person actually bumps up from there. So 6 minutes and 39 seconds. We're looking at Kevin Brunson and making it look easy out there with his Nemo Gama car. We did get to see Kevin at the RCGP in Italy. He was brought in a last-minute substitution for Nemo Racing. And there he comes in for some pits. Let's see who's doing the pitting duties. And we have John Hazelwood himself. They're pitting not as fast as Lee. Lee was excellent with his one-handed pitting system here earlier. But a great pit. It doesn't need to be super fast for Kevin. And I'm sure John will be happy to see his UK driver doing well here at Nemo Raceway. Let's drop back and find car number 7 because he is in a tight battle there. He looks like he could possibly still make the bump up after flaming out. Sorry for my getting excited here. So your positions now are Kevin Brunson, Maxim Cook, Scott Walker, Young, Mr. Likey, Chris Lovell, and Ferguson is now back up to 6th after getting by. Let's follow car. Who are we looking at? That's car number 7 of. Is that Rob? Yeah, that's Rob Cockcroft. He's pitting for Rob here earlier this week on Friday. I was helping him out. And Rob makes a mistake. We have the curse of the commentator, curse of the camera. Rob will be well chuffed with his 3rd place finish in the 40-plus race yesterday. He's very happy about that. Him and Chris Lovell had an epic battle near the end. Very good, nice guy Rob is with people. So your orders: Brunson, Cook, Likey, Walker, Lovell, Ferguson. Thank you. Frank came by and graciously has offered to go pick me up some victuals from the cafeteria up there. I would definitely like a nice hot coffee with some milk and sugar. Thank you, Frank. He's probably going on coffee number 3 of the day. We're following car number 7 of Rob Cockcroft. Let's bump up a little bit here and take a look at car number 4. It's the all-white car out there. It's the only all-white car out there, Ash. Car number 4 of Chris Lovell, the owner of Brookthorpe. He's in a solid 5th position right there. He has a 25-second lead over 6th, Young Ferguson, who had a flame out earlier on, but is able to come back. And he is looking comfortable in that 6th position with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. And there's Chris Lovell. He's normally an e-buggy guy. He likes to pay the bills. The owner of Brookthorpe. But really taking to Nitro is helping Chris out a lot as well. Very nice man. Has an awesome mohawk. And the man who owns every chassis in RC, I'm told. So you never know what he's going to show up with. It might be an X-Ray. It might be an HB. Who knows? He definitely is a chassis aficionado. Yeah, very nice man. And he has a very nice track over there in Brookthorpe. And very great club scene. Driving an X-Ray today, all white, with the smoke-colored Lexan wing that we see most X-Ray drivers running on. He has a little getting up on this pipe has caused a lot of people problems this weekend. And you just clip it and it sends you and you overcorrect and you end up getting bit by the black synthetic fiber that is the surface of Nemo Raceway here in Bishop's Ishiting. Oh no! And Scott Walker has had an issue. And if he needs to get back over, and there he sees Dad running over to get him, and they're doing some surgery right there, and looks like he had his switch come undone, and Scott will still, he moves down, he falls down to 5th, but I think he still holds onto his position because he did have a 44-second lead over. He looks like he's still, let's see what this lead is now with Scott as he comes across, and he's still, luckily his father, quick thinking out there, looks like his battery just came unattached or something. So Scott will have to fix that for the next main. We can't have that happening in a 45-minute main with 2 minutes left. Scott's still looking comfortable there. He just has to limp it around if there is some issues for the next 2 minutes and come home and get ready for the 45-minute main, which will be coming up shortly. Following Scott Walker, the European Mayako customer service manager. Doing a great job with the Mayako performance community and the Discord for Mayako. Told Scott the other day I'm moving to England and moving right next to him. He's instantly said he'll be looking for a new house. So I guess he isn't too fond of the fact that we moved. We got 1 minute and 10 seconds left here in this RC2A semi-A final. It's been quite lonely at the top for Kevin Brunson as he ran away with this. He's driving ever so smoothly. He's got a 1-lap lead on everybody here. And he has been the man here this weekend. He's looking to take the challenge to the young man representing Monaco, Thomas Musso, making the trip over here from France. It looks like these two are going to have a good battle as Scott Walker has 36 seconds left. I'm sure his heart was pulsating extremely fast when his car had that electrical issue, but quick thinking from his pit dad, Derek, and great hustle from him to get his car fixed on track for him. As it looks like it's going to be Kevin Brunson, Maxim Cook, young Likey brother here with his family, Chris Lovell in 4th, Scott Walker in 5th, and Ferguson, your 6 bump ups. Now remember, there will be a 10-minute LCQ, and there will be a 1 minute, one person will bump up for that to complete the final here for the RC2 guys. I love LCQs. It brings out some of the best racing. And you see Scott Walker just wrapping it up here. Just got to come across the line, and he has secured his final position. In the RC2 final that's coming up later on today, that will be 45 minutes long, and good job by Scott there to bring it home after a scare there. I'm sure he would not be too happy about that. You see the green-haired one, JQ, picking up his EU Mayako service, customer service rep. And it looks like it's going to be Brunston, Cook, Likey, Lovell, Walker, Ferguson, Daunt, Cockcroft, Stroud, Morrell, Bennett, and Shorey. Those are your finishers. And remember, the top 6 go through. Thank you to all the RC2 people for showing up. Kevin Brunson, Maxim Cook, Eric Likey, Chris Lovell, Scott Walker, and Jason Ferguson are your 6 bump ups. Neil Daunt, Robert Cockcroft, Johnny Stroud, Leon Morrell, Luke Bennett, and Michael Shorey will have to go to the LCQ. Remember, only one of those will bump up to the 45-minute final will be held later on today. As you see John Hazelwood and Mark Rumble there talking it over. Probably very happy about Kevin Brunson and his performance so far this weekend. The veteran UK racer has put in an excellent performance here at the Nemo Raceway here in Bishop's Isherton, UK. We're getting ready for our semi-final B coming up here shortly. And I'm going to hand over to Nick as I go ahead and talk to some of these RC2 drivers.
Left you order a coffee. He's walked off now, so he's going to catch you. I'll get everything. Hello, everybody. Right, so we are getting ready for the second of the semi-finals. Top 6 to bunk. Everyone else goes to the last chance qualifiers, and then to get 2 more races. This is a 20-minute race, similar to the last one, obviously. This is a semi-final. They're both the same. And who do we have taking part in this one? So we've got a little while to go. We've got the 3-minute warm-up. We've got Thomas Musso, Josh Graham, Tom Sartell in 3, Ruben Shakespeare in 4, Billy Gridley in 5, Holger Like in 6, Anthony Williams in 7, Tommy Dale in 8, Barkley Abernathy in 9, Chris Willits in 10, Andrew Rennick in 11, and Damu in 12. And if you recognise those last 4 names, it's because they bumped up from the previous set of finals, the quarterfinals. You're going to hear a bit of in a minute because, hang on, I'll mute so you won't hear it. I'm getting more professional by the moment there. I actually have a can of Coke without you hearing it. So, coming off this semi-final will be the second round of, well, second heat of RCGP. Lots of afters from the first one. That was all going on, wasn't it? So where we are is as follows. So we've got the second semi-final, then we go straight from that, well, but say straight, be a couple of minute gap, I think, into the RCGP round 2. Then we have an hour's lunch break. Wow, that's very civilised, a lunch break. I'm very impressed by this. From 12 to 1. Then we have the RC2 last chance qualifier, which is a 15-minute race. Then we go into the final qualifying race for RCGP. Then straight onto that, without the drivers getting out of their chairs, out of their positions, we do RCGP Super Pole. So the top 3 RCGP drivers do their 3 laps. Then we have the RC2 main final. That's a 20 to 3 local time, which is obviously 20 to 4 in Europe. Then we have the main RCGP race, which is due to go off at 10 past 4 local, which is 10 past 5 in Europe, and I suppose, just after 11 o'clock in the morning in Eastern Time, just after 8 o'clock in the morning in the far west, in the California elements of the States. And that will last for just shy of an hour, and I think it's going to be quite interesting. The races so far have been very close and quite controversial, and as we saw, Juan Carlos Canas has got his elbows out already. So warm-up continues. So Thomas Musso has kind of been the class of this half of the field. Him and Kevin Brunston, the ones we very much expecting to be fighting for the victory. Holger Light probably just wants to beat his brother, who we saw in the previous semi-final. Tommy Dale, yesterday, was setting fastest lap times, but not fastest race times, which is always a problem. And this is the issue with this circuit, isn't it? It's very easy to go, well, I say very easy, relatively easy to go fast for a lap. How easy is it to go fast for a long period of time? My feeling is not, is the answer to that question. Car in front of me falls over, but it doesn't matter because it's the wall. Who is that? It was the orange car number. It's crawling around. Look on the bump up. It's number 11 of Andrew Rennick. Rennick had a very bad middle part of his race in the quarterfinal. He went off in the lead. He was number 1 in that race. Fell right back, but had the basic ground speed to catch up the other guys. Plenty of help in the pits for the RC Tours, from the RCGP guys, some of the great and the good of the environment. Got a dead Mayarko in front of me. It's not dead, it's just upside down. That's the 12 car of Darren Moon. So if you're going to make a mistake now, because it doesn't count, it doesn't discount for anything. So last few seconds, and they'll be gathered in. Right. There's Mao walking with the flag to tell them all things are about to get serious. And they're now walking them out to the pit area. Onto the grid. So it's a grid start, not a gate start. So at least gives them a 50-50 chance of making it around the first corner. I'm not even sure, because the gate starts have been so good so far at this event. I'm not overly sure this grid start helps anybody particularly. Thomas Musso is there on the pole. Revving it. You can see his pit lady looking up at him saying, oh, you have to. Making it hard for me to top it right up. They go for the right ultimate top. Those last few millilitres of fuel have gone in. They're ready to put the cars down. Cars down. And they're away. Slow start for Musso, but it doesn't matter. He kept the lead. Oh, no, it did matter because he then collided with the number 2 car of Josh Graham. Josh Graham coming off it very much second best on that. And they've all scuffled through the first element of the race to come over the tabletop. And it is Musso who leads from the 4, from the 5. So that's from Ruben Shakespeare and Billy Grindley. That's 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Already Musso gapping those second and third cars. I wonder whether the 2 will be. I'm not quite sure. Josh Graham, he had a bit of he came off worse from that kind of landing on top of Musso situation. So interesting to see where he lands up at the end of the first. And Musso already has got a massive lead and really isn't that interesting. And thankfully, Ash has realised that and he's now filming second, third and fourth. So Musso already 2.7 seconds ahead. Then it's the next Ruben Shakespeare, Anthony Williams, Holger Like. Then bump up man, Chris Williams, Billy Grindley and Josh Graham in 9th. Top 6 bump. The rest go to the last chance. And it's all action in the middle of the pack. But it's no action at all. In fact, the first 2 are broken away now, which is impressive. So let's try to say this is the train of cars 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 2, Shakespeare and Musso, have gone. And they come into the left-hander where you saw that big action between Juan Carlos Canas and Pecco Evening in the first of the heats. Just a few minutes to go. Down the straight, Like from Williams. And that is Holger Like. Just going over the tabletop jump now. White car, well, it's not actually white, it's got some red flashes and green, but it looks quite bright. Then we have the green machine of the number 7 of Anthony Williams. It may not be, I think it's Anthony Williams. No, it's not. It's the 5 of that green machine is the 5 of Billy Grindley. So Grindley now setting after Holger Like, trying to pick up that top 3 position. All they're fighting for here is as long as they get in the top 6, they're just fighting for their position on the starting grid. Musso is 8 seconds in the lead after a couple of laps, helped by the fact the second qualifier had an absolute nightmare, of course. Over the fire grate, Grindley, not sure if he's gaining much at the moment upon Like. He was 0.988 of a second behind last time, so visually I think he might be a tiny bit quicker, tiny bit closer. He's also got a problem. He's got close attendance from Anthony Williams and Tom Sartell behind him. And Like's either crashed or, that's changed around, hasn't it? So Grindley moves to 3rd, Like to 4th, Sartell to 5th, Williams to 6th, Dale to 7th. As they shoot out to the outside, disappear below, and Like drops another position down. So Like now is behind Sartell. That's the green colour. That car of Tom Sartell, one of the Sartell family, famous French racers. Obviously, Jean Perric, one of the best known of those. So Jerome Sartell, still Jerome down in, I think he's his nephew, I think. Oh, an accident there by Grindley, so Sartell moves into 3rd place. So Jerome Sartell, of course, is the most famous, top-level racing in France for many years, and currently now S-Works manager in France. Whereas Jean Perric, who is another one of the cousins, how Cullen won those one amazing events. He had an amazing event, and he won the e-buggy Euros. Won the Euros against your Ongaros and against your Ronafalks at his home track. But even so, in France, in I think 18, and apparently it was. Obviously, he was very good, and it was low because he was running for what's called Sysmix tyres, and they had an absolutely dynamic tyre for that track. Now, interestingly, it's Sysmix tyres we're on here as the control tyre for the RC2 with the blues. So Sysmix won that e-buggy. Everyone always says down to time. Obviously, Jean Pellic had to drive well to get it. And now, of course, 4 years on, they're a much bigger brand, and they are the control tyre for RC2. So Sartell now scored second after Shakespeare also had an error, so he's managed to get past people by driving the line. Just so you know, Sartell is doing 40.2s and 40.3s. Musso is doing 37.5s to 40s. So Sartell is in second. As you can see, he's miles behind Musso. That's not the point. And then behind him is Billy Grindley. So let's just drop back one, which hopefully is Billy, because obviously there may be back markers in the way. That looks like him. I vaguely recognise the colours. And then behind Billy, it's Holger Like. This is third. And there's fourth place Like. Actually, in fairness to Holger, looking like he seems to get into quite a high position. I'm not going to say out of position, but quite a high position. Fell back a tiny bit, but now actually looking quite good at holding on to this fourth place, and hopefully might be able to move forward. I mean, there's just bad landing there by Grindley, and Like, who was second behind. This is the closest battle on the track. We'll get more involved in the bump ups if they blow up and a little bit nearer the end. Bit of lap there for Grindley. Now, someone right behind Like, but I assume that's a lapper. No, it wasn't. It was Shakespeare. It's got past Like. And Like and Williams are together. In fact, actually, there should be a train in a second. So you can just drop back 2 cars, Ash. There should be a train now in front of Like. So Like, yeah, this is the train of cars. There's always a danger that there's a lapped car, and to make it more exciting. Well, you just say that 4 cars are in a row here, fighting for those lower bump-up places, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 2 of those, so 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 of them are qualifying, 2 of them aren't. The blue car is the 8 machine of Tommy Dale. So just the car which you get the flashes of blue on the side, which is the easy one to spot from a distance. Go for fuel. Let's take it for fuel. Take the blue one for fuel, Ash. That's Tommy Dale, the Serpent. All bit of a long fuel, just trying to get all of it in. Came in after effectively just about 7 and a bit minutes. So just wait for these to unwind. So when Dale came in, he was within a few tenths of a bump-up position, just in 7th. He's now just going past Moon, who's a long way off, Darren Moon, a long way off the pace of these guys. Looks like his car's got handling issues. So we need to see what Dale is in a couple of laps' time. I didn't see many others going for fuel prior to him. And ahead of him, I think, is Williams. But let's find out as they go across the line now. Grindley, and then you've got Like, Williams, and Dale. Yeah, so those 3, it's stretched out a little bit during the pit stoppery. So Dale now. Got a lot of cars around him. I'm not sure that. I think one of them behind him may well be Musso behind him. No, that's a 2 car behind him. So that's Graham behind him. So is that because Graham took fuel a bit later than everyone else? So we've got 5 cars on a frame. I think 4 of them are competing, but there's a mistake. Oh, that was lucky. He got pushed back round again by Graham, but that's now Dale at the back of what this train of cars is. So Shakespeare crosses the line. Right, Grindley, Like, Graham, Williams, Dale. So that is your battle down from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dale currently in 8th. And fighting up to 7th past Anthony Williams. over the fire grate. Just move one forward to Williams. There he is, little cheeky monkey. Oh. So Williams was scored 7th last time round, which is not bumping up, of course. It's going into the last chance. Oh, when he comes in that car, the yellow car, can't quite get the wing number on it. Now, has he gained that place? Was that a lapped car or a car that was involved in the kerfuffle? And the answer is it was a lapped car, and he's 3 seconds behind Graham, or 2.7 seconds behind Graham, who is his target for 6th place. So Williams, someone being marshalled. Oh, got away with that. Someone was marshalled just then. I think that was the 2 car. That was Graham losing some space. So actually, Josh Graham got marshalled just off camera, and that has meant that if he hadn't made that awful landing, Williams would be much closer. But Williams now also has got Tommy Dale back in attendance right behind him. Dale up the inside line and makes the pass. Well done. So Dale now picks back up into 7th place. I saw this in the previous when I was watching Tommy earlier. He's great. He just does some fantastic laps. He does have a kind of a good lap, bad lap sort of situation. Not exactly that way, not 1-on-1, but you know, he's got some really decent ground speed. But then it all goes wrong. But if he can keep it 4 rubber things pointing downwards in the right direction for a few laps, he should have no issue, I think, making up the 1.8 seconds he is behind Josh Graham in 6th. You can see them both ahead of him. Because don't forget, it's not just Graham who can make a mistake, it's also Holger Light. Oh, that's not good. That's a little bit unfortunate. So that's probably going to drop Josh. Yeah, that's dropped him right down to 8. So this is how easy it is to do. He moved forward a couple to probably they'll be there. Those two there fighting in the middle of the field. That's it. That's like fighting Graham. So it's Holger Like and Josh Graham battling. They're both battling over 5th and 6th, but they are the closest on track at the moment. Just gone over halfway in this way. Oh, that was interesting. I'm not quite sure what happened there. So Light now drops behind Graham by a 2nd and a 10th. So Holger in the last of the bump ups, and behind him we see some spectacular action over the single. So Holger to the tabletop. And it's really about who emerged out of Williams and Dale to try and take it to Light. They're not a long way back, and there is another fuel stop. But Light currently in possession of the prize, which is the bump up to the main for certain. Nope. So Light is now stretched out. He's stretched out, but he just landed on a rock there. And now he's upside down. Oh, that's not gone well. And Tommy's gone past him. So Dale now, nice cam work, Ash, like that. So Dale's picked up the car that's gone past him. So Dale now is into 6th. So we just saw that as Like made a mistake over the turn into the carpet section, coming off Scott's pipe, which is what that back berm is called. Now means Dale is going to find himself in the bump up positions. It's quite a long way off from Billy Grindley, so that's the big news. But behind him, I don't think that's Like behind him, is it? No, Like's 5 behind him. Oh, no, it will be now because he's made a mistake. So that's going to throw them all together. The car that's gone past, I assume, is a lapping car. So you're actually still looking at the blue one, Ash. That's your focus. Because I don't actually know what the other car is. I think it's car 3. I think that's, yeah, it's not car 3. Because car 3 is a different colour than that. Car 5. So that is Grindley going past Dale. So that was the 5th. That's really quite interesting. So why is Grindley so close to Dale when Dale had the accident? So Grindley also had an accident. That's the reason why. It was team accident. I think at the same time Dale went in for fuel last time round. Let's see what Grindley does. Oh, that's why. Grindley didn't have an accident. Grindley went for fuel. So So Greeny went for fuel, which is why his lead disappeared despite the stop for Dale. So this is actually fine. He didn't lose time. He was just went in a lap early for fuel. We're very much at the back end of the second round of pit stops now. And across he goes. My guess is there's going to be a big gap to Dale. Now, oh, careful, boy. Big gap. It's not a big gap to Dale, is it? It's only a second. No, it is. There we go. It's 8 seconds. There we are. And upside down. Just hang on. Just leave the car here, and let's wait to see who comes next. We are around the bottom of the bump ups. It's a long way, isn't it? Okay, let's go with this guy. This is the 2 machine. It's Graham. What's Graham doing down there? This is Josh Graham. I think it's the 2 anyway. Yeah, it is. I think if I have a really big monitor TV, so I can occasionally read the numbers. So why is the 2 down there? In 5th. And where's 6th? Nowhere. Okay, so Graham's okay in 5th. Right. So we need to wait, leave the car here, and we need to wait for Dale again, who we know is the blue car. I'm not sure it's a lapped car in between, but it's the blue car we want. That's it. The lapped car rolled out of the way. Back with Dale, who's in the last of the bump-up spots, and that, I think, behind him, really pushing on, is that Sartell about to lap him. So Sartell will come round and lap him. Good driving by Dale there, nice and wide. Let the lappery person go. Excellent work. But now the white car right behind him, that is Holger Like. And that is, it was. Is it someone else lapping him as well? I think there's a lot of traffic. I think now Musso is lapping him. So he's about to get lapped. He's just been lapped by the second place person, and then he's get lapped by the first place person. So basically Musso is about 4 car lengths away from lapping second. So, yeah, we need, not that one. Drop back one, Ash. Not that one either, doesn't matter. Let's go. So whilst we're doing that, so Light was basically ahead there, and they've come together, and there's a massive amount of weirdness. Let's have a look at that one again. They were together, and it's just that's caught the wrong thing. That's fine. So Dale now leading. They're not leading. He's, you didn't want to do that. And there goes Like past him. So another goes, this one worked. It's always frustrating when that happens. I'm going to try again though. So Dale just behind Like with 2 minutes 45 to go. The gap you can see, it's just, don't do that, Tommy. So it scored as 1,000th of a second off a second last time round. This is the bump up. This is why we're looking at it. We're not looking at Musso because he's a lap ahead of Sartell, who's almost a lap ahead of Shakespeare. Half a lap ahead of Shakespeare. Then you've got Grindley and Graham. This is the Like against Dale battle. There's Like, there's Dale. White against blue for the predominant colours. I both have multicoloured body shells. It's easier for that. There goes Like just out of frame. Dale's rear is lifting the whole time. He's obviously got the car a little bit more flexible, a little more roll in it than a lot of the other machines. You can see it lifting its rear left and rear right when it turns in. He's having a lot of problems. Everyone's so desperate to keep down on Scott's pipe, which is the berm, that they effectively go too low. And Holger pulled out 2/10 in the last. Oh dear! Oh, he got away with it. Got away with it. Just did a roll. So you do think that Dale's car is much more on the edge of a grip roll. That red car not involved in this battle. Moves wide. Nice driving. And the Light and Dale battle continues. 1 minute 17 to go. So realistically, they're going to get 2, aren't they? It does obviously depend where Musso is, but they're going to get 2, I think. Oof. Slap landing on the top of the loop. He's getting closer, isn't he? He's getting closer. The big pressure for the young man, Holger Like. I mean, Tommy's not an old boy, but it's big pressure, and Like now has just begun to lose a little bit of pace. And this is the battle for... Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. He's gone off the track. I think he got away with it, actually. No, we're not doing that anymore. Oh, Tommy's got away with that one. I made a mistake, but Like made a mistake as well. So double mistakes with 25 seconds to go. Tommy stays in the bump. Oh, it runs together. So this is the final bump up there. Oh, Dale makes a mistake and Liar goes through. Light goes through there. Mistake coming off the fire grate. Now, don't forget, it's not the end of the day for Dale, but it is very much the mistake that's taking him out from auto qualifying to having to go through another race, which is quite fun. 15 minutes, but it's going to be Like he's going to pick up that 6th place on the last lap of semi-final B. Good entertainment, good racing by everybody involved there, and you end up with others finishing. In fact, Like was the first person to click the 20 minutes. Ruben Shakespeare's also safely through in 4th. William Grindley, Musso's won by a lap easily. Sartell hasn't finished yet, but he's already qualified. So your bump ups are Thomas Musso, Tom Sartell, Ruben Shakespeare, Billy Grindley, Josh Graham, and Holder Like. Tommy Dale, the unlucky driver, who will have to go into the last chance qualifier. So that concludes RC2 action until after lunch. The next thing we have will be the RC2